Playtime Co. was founded in 1930 by the brilliant Elliot Ludwig. Like his namesake, Ludwig was a visionary and creative genius. Ludwig devoted every waking second of his life to bring joy to children. However, this relentless work ethic came at a cost to his personal life. Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well. Now we will tell you the full story of Elliot Ludwig to help you better understand how it all began with the factory and the toys. If you're interested in seeing more content about the legendary game universe, consider subscribing to the channel and giving it a like. Elliot Ludwig is depicted through in-game photos as a bee-suited man with fair, light-colored skin. His face is always obscured by a large black rectangle, keeping his face anonymous. However, the old photo on the merchandise website reveals that he had slicked-back hair. At an unknown point in time, Elliot Ludwig met and later married a woman named Molly. Intent on making children happy, Elliot founded an American toy-making company named Playtime Co. in 1930. He devoted every waking second of his life to designing and crafting toys, often working overtime consistently. These toys soon made national headlines, allowing Ludwig to hire more employees, essentially growing his empire. This behavior strained Elliot's marriage, and this relationship climaxed upon Molly divorcing him in the very same year of Playtime Co.'s opening. Although a major blow had been dealt to his personal life, Elliot continued to fulfill his vision for his company. By 1950, Playtime Company was regarded as the king of the toy manufacturing industry, and Elliot was now a wealthy and successful entrepreneur. This was also the year he released a commercial dedicated to the new Poppy Playtime, alongside offering factory tours for a mere $2.99 a person. A while later, the company released an orientation notebook for their employees, in which Ludwig left a motivational message for everyone reading, ensuring them that they would achieve great things and contribute to the joy of children around the world. Ludwig eventually went on to create the Young Geniuses program, where intelligent kids would be recruited to try and lead science into the future and solve unanswerable questions. Judging from the outdated Playtime Co. logo seen on sheets related to this program, it can be estimated that the program was founded sometime around the 1950s to 1970s. Elliot's motivation for starting this program is unknown, though there is a logical assumption that can be made. A document can be found talking about Experiment 814, which utilized a dead rat. If this experiment was the work of Ludwig, it would be proof that he was trying to innovate in science, which would then explain why the Young Geniuses program came into being. One member of the program, Harley Sawyer, was documented by Ludwig to have not cared for friendship, but to have had a very strong drive for science. Elliot was confident in Sawyer at first. However, he eventually realized that the boy had zero humility and did not care for benefiting mankind with scientific innovation, but rather just making progress for the sake of progress. This ultimately led to Ludwig removing Sawyer from the program, much to the boy's disliking. In the 1960s, a family member of Ludwig's died, greatly devastating him. Though not confirmed, it's likely that this deceased loved one was his daughter. Regardless, Ludwig pressed onward toward his goals despite the hard times he was facing, creating a new toy, Brawn the dinosaur, who soon joined Playtime Co.'s growing roster of mascots. In 1960, he also created the Make-A-Friend machine, which built toys automatically and eliminated the requirement for manual labor. Another one of his innovative creations was the Grab Pack, which he had created by 1984 at the latest. And at some point, he also opened a Playtime Co.-themed amusement park. At some point, Ludwig incorporated orphan adoption into the toy company's brand, encouraging employees to adopt an orphan and grant them a safe home. And in 1976, he announced the opening of Playcare and voiced his hopes that the facility would enrich all who entered, concluding life was meaningless without smiles and joy. Between the 1970s and late 1980s, Ludwig displayed a reclusive and bizarre nature that his neighbors noticed. They often observed Elliot depart from his home and return at ungodly hours, but were unsure of why. Meanwhile, inside the factory, Ludwig was planning the Huggy Wuggy toy, who went on to become the company's best-selling product. And as Huggy was skyrocketing in fame, Ludwig was already planning the Smiling Critters. Sometime during or after 1984 and before January 15, 1990, Elliot Ludwig passed away, with playtime continuing under the new leadership of Leith Pierre. He left behind a legacy of high-quality toys and joyful children. This legacy, however, was questioned upon the gruesome discovery of an eviscerated young boy in his estate. Following the discovery, Playtime Co. rose in defense of their founder and expressed an eagerness to clear his good name. Elliot Ludwig's suspicious behavior before his death, however, only fueled the flames of controversy. But after the Hour of Joy on August 8, 1995, Playtime Co. was permanently shut down.